Well, on this election day, you would think that weatherman John Barry would at least cooperate a little bit and give us some good voting weather.
Or at least not talk about snow. John Barry, what on earth are you discussing?
Yeah, that'd be too easy. Listen, here is my election weather prediction. A fairly stable evening, perhaps a few flakes, but otherwise okay. It's a joke! All right, here's the flash forecast. We are looking at drizzle right now. And for the next 6 hours, don't be surprised if we see some scattered flurries tonight. The big weather picture coming up in 15 minutes' time, so stay tuned.
This is Bob Makichuk in Montreal. Join me for Canada at the Crossroads, a Western look at the Quebec question.
That's coming up next. Plus, Lucien Bouchard in hot water over some weekend comments about white women and the birth rate in Quebec.
And in Washington, hundreds of thousands of black men marched for a better life. Stay with us.
It's true.
For the past few weeks, you've been telling us how to make K97 a better Edmonton radio station. Well, we've been listening, and now we want to know how you like it.
On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 10.
All good. Stuff I'd listen to.
I really like the changes you've made.
Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
11.
I'd say they were a 10 out of 10.
That's the kind of music I like to hear on the radio station every day.
Hey, K97 makes my day every day.
We've fixed the music, so now you don't have to change the station. Edmonton's better rock mix, K97.
It's a part of your life. Whether you have enough, just enough, or never enough. It can comfort you. It can confuse you. Make you feel good. Make you sweat. It can bring people together. It can rip them apart. It can be easy. It can be difficult. It's money. Your money. We're here to help make it easier.
It's time to stop fuzzy thinking. It's time to be a winner with Nate's 8 Lottery 95. 2 furnished homes, complete with cars. Cash prizes worth over $250,000. 8 new vehicles, furniture groupings, trips, jewelry, recreational equipment, luggage, home electronics, over 2,400 prizes in all, including 2 early bird prizes. Wouldn't you rather win? Nate's 8 Lottery 95, in support of technical training in Alberta.
The leader of the Yes forces in Quebec is in trouble tonight. More on a major gaffe by Lucien Bouchard in a moment. But first, we begin a series on what the people of Quebec think about the referendum. We sent CFRN's political affairs specialist Bob Makichuk to Quebec to find out what is on the minds of voters in Quebec and also to present them with an Alberta viewpoint. Well, tonight, Bob begins in Montreal, the largest French-speaking community in the world outside of France.
Montreal is a city of the night. Rue Saint-Denis is the center of Francophone nightlife, a place where referendum passions erupt at random. Polls show 1 out of every 5 people who intend to vote yes think a separate Quebec will continue to send members of parliament to Ottawa.
We're not better. We're not worse. We're different.
Marcel Bergeron is typical of separatists who can't believe Canadians would deny an independent Quebec access to Canadian passports and Canadian dollars.
They're talking to us as though we're going to move somewhere on the moon. There's no such thing as separation.
But what makes you believe that the rest of the country will be willing to accept an association of some sort?
Because they have to, because I think it's every year we're selling for 37,000 billion to Ontario, and they're also selling to us somewhere around 40 billion a year.
Le Saint-Sulpice is the hottest bar on the street. Here, even the bouncers are philosophical about federalism being out of touch.
People that are voting yes is not only for the cultural issue, but are sick and tired of Ottawa not being up to date with the population. And saying that maybe being closer to the population, so being only a country within a province, it's easier to manage than a huge country.
In the cold light of day, the day after the referendum, there are concerns about how the results will be interpreted. What happens, for instance, if the no side wins, but a majority of Francophone Quebecers vote yes? There are fears of turmoil and recriminations in communities across the province.
People whose first language is neither French nor English make up about 20% of Quebec's population. The so-called allophones are an often visible minority.
I think a lot of people are kind of blindsided by the referendum issue. That kind of takes up just about everything.
J.T. Grant runs a small 19-seat diner in an ethnically mixed part of Montreal. He's half British, half Jamaican.
I don't have any problem with anybody. My problem will be with the few that'll make it difficult for everybody in the business community. Vandalism, protests.
Like most allophones, Grant is voting no. If the yes side wins, he'll leave the province. Not over racial tensions, but because he fears his business will collapse.
If a majority comes down and I have to move, I think it's a very sad thing. I think I'm losing freedoms by being forced out of what I consider to be my country, my province.
In the trendy cafes along Saint-Denis, yes supporters aren't worried about the allophones. Diane Gagnon and Alain Bouchard produce a children's television program. Franco culture is their bottom line.
We have, you know, to preserve our identity, we have to become independent. You know, that's the thing.
What if there's a no vote? If the results are no, but the majority of Francophones vote yes? What happens then?
Qu'il n'y aura plus de conflit.
It's not a resolution.
No.
No.
This will continue.
Yeah.
This will come back again.
Yeah.
You're sure of that?
Yeah.
For many Quebecers, the worst possible referendum result is not a solid yes or no, but something more ambiguous. An inconclusive outcome that means these children will continue to confront today's Quebec-Canada questions when they grow up. On assignment in Montreal, Bob Makachuk, CFRN Eyewitness News.
A storm of controversy swirls around Bloc Québécois leader Lucien Bouchard tonight. It's because of a comment made on the weekend about the birth rate among white women in Quebec. CTV's Paula Newton has the story.
Just a week after reviving the Yes campaign, Sovereignty's brightest star may be losing some of his luster. The controversy began with these comments to a group of Francophone women.
Moi, j'avoue que ça a du bon sens qu'on ait si peu d'enfants au Québec. On est une des races blanches qui a le moins d'enfants, ça n'a pas de bon sens.
Does it make sense that we have so few children in Quebec, he said. We're one of the white races that has fewest children. That's really something, he added. We haven't solved our family problems. Daniel Johnson says those comments are insulting to women.
They will not be confined to the home to be kept barefoot and pregnant.
And not just women, Johnson says, minorities too.
It's a very bizarre intervention. That's the least I can say. I can't explain it. And Monsieur Bouchard should explain what he meant.
Women from the No Committee picked up on the cause, saying they were angered, insulted, and even disgusted.
If Mr. Johnson would have said the same thing, what would have happened? I think it's inexcusable. You can't say it in our side, and you can't say it on the other side.
And he was appealing to white women. Why doesn't he include all women of Quebec?
In Ottawa, the beleaguered Bloc leader defended his comments.
It's the no side. The no side is trying to make a big deal of something that does not exist. They're trying to portray me as a racist. Me, a racist? Me, a sexist? That's ridiculous. But the implication will not fly.
But it did fly in 1980 when a sovereignist made condescending remarks about women, saying they were Yvettes, simple people with no conviction. Women retaliated, rallied to the no side en masse. Federalists are hoping for a repeat as both sides try to win over the most coveted of Quebec voters, the undecided woman. Paula Newton, CTV News, Montreal.
The new leader of the federal NDP made the rounds in Ottawa today, including a visit to her very first caucus meeting.
I know there were a lot of people that weren't expecting me to be here today. I was one of them a few weeks ago.
Alexa McDonough was the surprise leadership winner on Saturday, coming in second on the first ballot, then having Sven Robinson concede defeat.
Haven't heard from the Prime Minister, but I can tell you one thing, he's going to hear a hell of a lot from me.
And McDonough was introduced to the House of Commons today as she watched the proceedings from the gallery.
Appeals for black unity rang out across Washington's National Mall today. Hundreds of thousands of black men from all over the U.S. gathered for the Million Man March. As Deborah Weiner reports, it was a call from controversial Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan that brought them all together.
They came to be counted as 1 in a million. They came from many different places for many different reasons.
Well, my son's 10 years old. Today I'm making an investment on his future. I bought my son so he can see history in the making.
Fathers and sons, Muslims and Christians, young and old. It was a call from the controversial Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan that brought them all together.
We must accept the responsibility that God has put upon us, not only to be good husbands and fathers and builders of our community, but God is now calling upon the despised and the rejected to become the cornerstone and the builders of a new world.
Farrakhan's past remarks about Jews and other ethnic groups have made him a divisive figure, but many prominent black leaders attended the march, saying they supported its message of personal responsibility. Malcolm X's widow Betty Shabazz, entertainer Stevie Wonder, civil rights leader Jesse Jackson. The poet Maya Angelou even wrote a poem for the Million Man March.
Draw near to one another. Save your race.
The last time Angelou read a poem from the steps of the Capitol was for Bill Clinton's inauguration. Today, President Clinton praised the marchers, but he condemned the man who brought them together.
1 million men are right to be standing up for personal responsibility. But 1 million men do not make right one man's message of malice and division.
Coming up next, cool, gray, and drizzly. John Barry has the inside story on the weather.
And also we'll have a sports preview next, but you already know that Monday night is made for super play.
Hi everybody, I'm Ian Leonard, and here's a quick look at what's up tonight here on CFRN TV. Wings takes flight at 8 o'clock. Murphy Brown is on at 8:30. Melrose Place heats things up at 9 o'clock. We take a look at the Civic collection for you at 10, and if not for you, is on at 10:30.
These long johns were washed in ABC, the others in a leading lemon detergent. Can you see the difference? Look closely.
I can't see the difference.
The difference is price. You save up to 20% with ABC. Why pay more?
Reveal the natural beauty of your wood with Pledge. Pledge has cleansing conditioners to gently lift dirt and fingerprints, so you see that beautiful shine every time you dust. Pledge, let the natural beauty of your wood shine through. S.C. Johnson Wax.
Look what's back, the Vista Value Pack. Rent a Vista 100 phone for about $1.50 more than you're paying now and get call display.
It's for you, Justin.
Which shows the number and name of the caller, plus up to 2 more EdTel calling features, like call answer, call waiting, or call return, free for 8 weeks. Or upgrade to a Vista 200 or a convenient Vista 2000 cordless. Vista Value Pack, now at your EdTel phone exchange, or call 44-VISTA for free delivery. Hurry, the pack is back, but for a limited time.
The music you thought radio forgot is back. Great songs, great memories on AM 1260 CFRN.
I did it my way.
Frank Sinatra, Barbra Streisand, Andy Williams. Come on back with us. Great songs, great memories all day long on AM 1260 CFRN.